Bob, our resident short sale expert's got something he wants to share with us.
which is 6 ways to get more mortgage delinquent deals, people that are behind on their mortgage, just like Justin said, in the post-pandemic market into this new era that we're entering.
Yeah, some of these, see if when he goes through these six, guys and gals, if any of these are brand new for you, you've never thought of any of these lists before. This is going to be mind expanding. So I hope everybody recognizes here, though, that these lists are not just short sale lists. These are motivated sellers are in here, and they may not all qualify for a short sale yet. So while you're doing your pretty house business, for example, you hear me talk about doing every 90 days, I put together a yellow letter campaign and I send it out to the failed listings in my market area. Well, this is the same kind of principle you could apply here. You could take these lists, you could kind of dial in here on some of these lists and do a yellow letter campaign and just do it every now and then. Do it every couple months or once a month, or do it like me every 3 months. And you'll find some deals in there for your business, and also you're going to find some short sale business in here. Yeah, some of these, see if when he goes through these six, guys and gals, if any of these are brand new for you, you've never thought of any of these lists before. This is going to be mind expanding.
Yeah. Some of them are obvious, probably stuff you're already doing, but some of them are just, stuff that once the pandemic hit, I started implementing in my business, and, it's working. So, it's not like a guru seminar type thing. It's literally just something I put together from like stuff that I'm doing in my business that could relate to yours and hopefully make you some money.
Can we ask questions along the way?
What's that?
Can we interrupt you and ask questions along the way?
100%. I'll have the floor open at the end for any questions. And then as I'm going, just shout out questions and interrupt me whenever you want.
Boom. Okay, everybody, y'all heard that. Okay.
Could everybody see my screen?
I can. Yep.
Yeah, good. Yes. Okay. I'm going to skip these first couple. I mean, most of you guys are familiar faces, and as Justin already introduced me, I'm the short sale resident in the group. Anytime you have short sale questions, you're doing a pre-foreclosure lead, whatever the case, I'm just here as a resource for you guys to lean on. I'm just here to help everybody out. So I'll skip the long intro that I normally do.
And we like you. We like you, Bob. Thank you for doing that.
Of course. Happy to do it. So actually, I'll brief you real quick on my company because there are a couple of new faces. So I have a business called Universal Short Sales. We're a short sale processing company. So essentially what that means is from start to finish in the short sale process, we streamline the entire short sale for you. So that's dealing with the seller, all the crazy documentation, the appraisal, every step up until the short sale approval, and then the deal is closed. We do everything A to Z. I partner with realtors on their listings, and I have a wholesaler referral system, which is obviously best for you guys. Whenever you have a dead lead, something that doesn't make sense, it's underwater, behind on payments, and you can't assign it because there's no equity, you could funnel those leads to me and I cut you a check for them. That's simple. I'm just another tool in your tool belt, as Justin says.
This is oftentimes a pretty house business, guys. See, that's why we talk about this every week for 10 minutes, because, in the pretty house business, you're going to run into this. Am I right, Bob?
100%. 100%. And even with properties that need a ton of work that aren't even pretty, somebody could just owe a ton of money on them. Maybe they did a reverse mortgage that went bad. Maybe they bought it, back in 05, 06, way overpriced. There's a million different things, especially in certain markets. Like, if you're in a market where people overpaid and they're over leveraged years ago, you could still see a lot of short sales today. You just have to look for them. Right now you might not be looking for them because it's not a part of your primary business. So they're out there. All right. So again, these are 6 lead sources that I've been using post-pandemic, post-COVID, as we move forward, that are working for me, okay, to get sellers behind on their mortgage. First one is mortgage modification leads. Okay, for those that don't know, a mortgage modification is when someone's behind on their mortgage, okay, a homeowner, they can't make their payments, but they want to stay in the property. Okay, so you call somebody up, they're behind on their mortgage, maybe it's a pre-foreclosure list you bought, and the homeowner says, thank you, Mr. Investor, but I'm not interested. I want to stay in my home. 99% of you, what are you going to do, right? You're going to hang up the phone, mark it as a dead lead, and move on. These leads are actually excellent lead sources to follow up with and get the business down the road instead of throwing it away. Okay. What a lot of people don't realize is a very large percentage of these people that are trying to get mortgage modifications, they're trying to stay in their house, they get declined. Okay. The bank declines the opportunity because what they do is if the homeowner, if they see they can't make their payments, they're going to say, okay, if you want to work it out with us and stay in the house, we're going to need to see your tax returns. We're going to need to see your pay stubs, bank statements, and all of their financials.
Yeah,
The
see, I
bank,
thought that
yeah,
everybody was a shoe-in, dude.
nope.
I thought that.
And
Uh,
Justin, that's what most investors think. And that's the beautiful thing about mortgage modifications. Most investors think that when a homeowner says, I know I'm behind, but I have it all worked out. The bank said they're going to take care of it. Click. Those are dead leads for 99% of investors because they think, oh, well, it sounds like the bank's going to let them in.
mm,
Most of those people will get declined. The bank will say, I'm sorry, keeping the home is not an option. You have to sell it. Sell it or we're going to foreclose. So, um, yeah, a large percentage. Okay. So when you're going through these, what you want to do is you want to create, you want to, maybe you have a sales acquisition person, maybe you're doing your sales, your lead generation. You want to start to funnel these leads. Okay. You want to create a funnel of these leads and you want to set a periodic follow-up. Be the 1%. I promise you, every investor just ignores these leads and it's dead. Follow up with these leads. It'll take you months. Okay, it'll take you months, but you will get the deal. At the end of it, once they're ready to sell and the bank declines them, you will be the only person following up and you're going to build good rapport. They're going to trust you and they're going to sell you their property once the bank declines it. These are my number one lead source since the pandemic hit, by the way. This is my number one lead source.
yeah, I see that.
Yep. When it comes to following up with people, and it takes a while. So what I like to do too, because you're probably wondering, how do you handle this deal? When they tell you that they're keeping the property, don't give pushback. Don't argue with them. Don't debate them and say, hey, well, I spoke to Bob over at Universal and he said, you're probably going to get denied. Don't do any of that. Wish them luck. What I like to do is wish them luck, be friendly, build really good rapport. And then at the end of the call, say, look, best of luck on your modification. I hope it works out. If you don't mind, I'm going to touch base with you every couple of weeks, or, maybe I'll drop in once a month just to see how everything's going. And if it doesn't work out, I'll be here to help you. Boom, that's it. And then you just touch base with them, set it in your Podio or whatever your CRM is, and then you will get deals from this lead source. Feel free to jump in with any questions as I go through, as I said before. All right, source number 2, bankruptcy leads. This is probably a very common one. You hear people buying the bankruptcy list, but right now it's a little bit more relevant. So once COVID hit, once the pandemic hit, a lot of people went into panic mode. One of the first things a lot of people do when they go into panic mode is they're going to call their local attorney. Maybe they have an attorney that's a family friend, a realtor, whatever the case is, and that person refers them to a bankruptcy lawyer. So because of the pandemic, a lot of people are entering bankruptcies as a protection once they go into panic mode. I'm not an expert. I'm not an attorney, a bankruptcy attorney. In my personal experience doing short sales, the majority of people that come out of the bankruptcy, they need my help. They're in a worse situation and their overall, their situation is worse. Okay. So similar to the last lead source, mortgage modifications, when you talk to someone who is under bankruptcy protection, it's not a dead lead. Okay. They're relaxed because they know they're protected now, but you want to follow up with these people. Put them in your CRM, follow up, because again, building good rapport over the course of time and being friendly, you will get these deals. No one's following up on these bankruptcy leads. Even the people, keep this in mind, even the investors that are calling the bankruptcy list, prospecting to them, they're still not following up with the people that are under bankruptcy protection. They're trying to catch them before they hit it. Okay, so build good rapport, follow up, and then you're going to get these over the course of time. You're going to fill your pipeline with these leads, and you will get deals from it.
So I think bankruptcy list is available on PropStream, but source number one you were sharing, the loan modification, I don't think that's available on PropStream. What is your recommendation for locating these type data?
Yeah, that's why, and that's another thing I love about the mods. So bankruptcy, pre-foreclosure, all that stuff, you could order those lists. So there's tons of competition. People are ordering them. Mortgage modifications, the bank isn't allowed to release that information. So if I have a house at 123 Main Street and I can't make my payments, the bank isn't allowed to disclose my information and sell it to like a list provider. So the mortgage mod leads, you just have to set up your lead generation system that when a lead comes in, that's someone that's trying to reinstate their mortgage and keep the house, you need to set up your system so that you're actually, so that your salesperson or yourself handles the lead in a certain way and you don't throw that lead away. Okay.
That's
And
good.
you
Yeah.
need to build the pipeline of those leads. It's not something you could prospect to, but in this market, you're gonna run across people. There are millions of people that cannot pay their mortgage. And despite what the news says, it's not getting that much better. All the people on forbearances, once they come out of these COVID forbearances and they still can't pay, they're going to try to modify their loans. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of these leads. What I'm saying is not prospect to them. You want to set your systems up so then you could have a lead intake system for the mortgage mods. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yes, it does. On number two, I was thinking it might be nice to share. I have a bankruptcy attorney in town here where I live in my market that brings me pretty house leads pretty frequently and people that are clients of hers. And, so this is a often neglected source of all kinds of deals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, totally agree. And like, you could prospect to get these leads, just like Justin said. You could order a list. You could contact an attorney for leads. I don't even do that. I close bankruptcy leads the same way I do modification leads. I just set up my sales intake system so that when I get someone that's in a bankruptcy, I know how to handle the lead, put it in my CRM as a periodic follow up, and then I usually get them towards the tail end of the bankruptcy. So it's a follow up lead. But again, building a pipeline of these is going to guarantee that you get business from it. Okay, source number three is pre foreclosure leads, calling the pre foreclosure leads. So, this is a pretty common one. However, right now the country is in an all time low of foreclosures. Okay, the US has an all time low of foreclosures. We never had this low of foreclosure inventory. Obviously, it's because of the government assistance, right? The moratoriums, forbearances. The government is protecting homeowners from getting foreclosed on. So that's affecting the statistics for the foreclosure. So it's very, very low. Because the foreclosures are so low, there's an all-time low of competition. Investors right now, lots and lots of investors are not hitting these pre-foreclosure leads because they're looking at, DS News and Housing Wire, CoreLogic and all these statistic websites, and they're reading the stats. They're saying, oh, foreclosures are at an all-time low. Why would I waste my time, money, and resources and hit these pre-foreclosure lists. So they're ignoring the pre-foreclosure list. Okay. So they're underused. In my opinion, they're overlooked. Okay. Right now, now that we're at the tail end of this thing, my suggestion is to call up your list provider, get a count of how many pre-foreclosures are actually being reported in your area. And if it's a decent number, I would start to hit those pre-foreclosure lists now. A lot of the people are actually not protected. That's what you have to realize, okay? The government is only protecting government-backed loans, FHA, VA, Fannie Mae, etc. What a lot of homeowners don't realize and what investors don't realize are these moratoriums. They don't protect private loans. So banks could still foreclose on you right now. Okay, banks could absolutely foreclose, and the foreclosures are starting to trickle back in. I'm starting to see that. Right, they're going to foreclosure. So line up your pre-foreclosure list now, and you'll be able to start your sales cycle way before your competition does, because most investors, they're not going to start marketing to these pre-foreclosure lists until they see the statistics, until they see the foreclosure numbers rising. If you start to mail and call these people now, you're going to have a leg up and you're going to be able to get good deals now.
That makes sense, Bob. It's only logical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep in mind too, when statistics come out, like about foreclosure rates, etc., they're always a month or two late, right? There's always that lag time. Like the stats that we read, they're not current. You're going to see the foreclosures coming back before the next foreclosure list reports. So what I'm doing right now, I'm actually telling you before the stats come out, like I'm telling you foreclosures are starting to trickle in right now before you read it anywhere, because I'm seeing it in real time, because this is my business essentially. So I'm telling you that they're starting to trickle in, before any stats hit. Okay. List number 4 is to call.
Question here, real quick, Bob.
Yeah.
From Lou. You guys can speak up. You don't have to type it in
Yeah.
here.
You just interrupt.
We're all family here, so you ain't gonna upset nobody if you interrupt
I don't know.
somebody. It says, Bob, when we are talking to the client and discover a need for a short sale, how do we connect you and them? Okay, I understand why maybe you typed that in, because that might be something that you'd want to end with.
Yeah. No, it's a great question. So, you're on the phone with somebody and, they're behind on their mortgage and they're underwater. So there's nothing you could do to help them. What I would say is just be real with them, be honest. Say, hey, listen, Mr. Seller, there's unfortunately for your situation, there's nothing I could do with my business model to help you, but I have a partner that specializes in a short sale. Have you considered a short sale? Are you familiar, etc.? And then, you just connect us. You just let them know I'm going to be giving them a shout. Provide provide me with his or her information by filling out a lead form. It's right on my website, and that's it. It's just that easy. You just connect us and then you get updated. That's it.
So I hope everybody recognizes here, though, that these lists are not just short sale lists. These are motivated sellers are in here, and they may not all qualify for a short sale yet. So while you're doing your pretty house business, for example, you hear me talk about doing every 90 days, I put together a yellow letter campaign and I send it out to the failed listings in my market area. Well, this is the same kind of principle you could apply here. You could take these lists, you could kind of dial in here on some of these lists and do a yellow letter campaign, and just do it every now and then. Do it every couple months or once a month, or do it like me every 3 months. And you'll find some deals in there for your business, and also you're going to find some short sale business in here.
Yeah, guys, that's a really important point, and apologies if I didn't hit on that in the beginning hard enough.
That's all right. I'd just like to recap, Bob. That's all.
Yeah, no. The 6 sources for leads I'm giving you, they're not to feed me business for short sales. Most of them are going to be deals that, you guys are going to be able to wholesale or lease option or do whatever. I'm just here as a secondary resource for you. But yeah, most of the leads you're going to get here are not going to be underwater. They're going to be really good deals for you. So list number 4 post-pandemic is to call foreclosure auction leads. Okay. I touched on this a little bit before, but it's very important. So I want to say it again. Customers, sellers, homeowners have a false belief about foreclosure protection because they read the news and the mainstream media puts out these headlines that are just going to grab your attention, and they're very general, right? Government protects foreclosures, banks can't foreclose. So people read these headlines and they think that they're automatically, oh, okay, great, I'm protected, I cannot pay my mortgage. It's not true. Okay. There was a deal in Texas that I actually had to educate the homeowner. I called them. The homeowner thought, they were convinced because they talked to a neighbor or something, that their loan was protected, and it didn't matter that they were behind because the government, or I'm sorry, because the bank could not foreclose. I had to explain to them that this is not true, that the mortgage company was in the process of taking their property via foreclosure. So luckily we had enough time to help them with a short sale and buy the property. But honestly, if they didn't talk to us sooner, they would have lost their property because they thought they were protected. Okay. This is amazing. This is amazing for investors because there's an opportunity right now for you to be able to educate the seller and inform them on the facts. Once you do that, they're going to trust you. You're going to build rapport, and then you're going to come in as a last second savior, like a knight in shining armor, save their property and get a great deal for yourself. So make sure you guys as investors understand that the federal government, now every state has their own rules, but the federal government is not protecting loans that are not backed by the federal government. Okay. In the beginning of the pandemic, they were. Now they're no longer doing that. Banks can foreclose on properties. Very, very important because I'm telling you, most of the sellers, they just don't want to hear it and they have false information. Okay, the word forbearance. I'm sure everybody here has heard this a million times over the past year and a half. We're all sick of it. But the fact of the matter is, these are awesome leads, great opportunity. Okay. Again, these aren't leads that you're going to be able to market to. Okay. There's no forbearance list. The bank can't release forbearance leads. Maybe somebody in here knows of a list that I'm unaware of, but as far as I'm concerned, the bank can't, provide a list of people who are on COVID forbearance plans with their house. Okay. So the reality with these forbearances is they may help in the short term, right? They may help people, but it's not a long-term solution. Okay. A lot of these people are going to come out of their forbearances and they're going to need help. They still can't pay their mortgage. And we're already starting to see this. This isn't me guessing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
already starting to talk to people who did a COVID forbearance and now they come out and they still struggle to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So again, when you talk to these people, just like the modifications, just like the bankruptcy, don't end the call and mark it as a dead lead just for the simple fact that they tell you that, oh no, I'm good, I'm protected, the bank's taking care of me, click. Wish them luck. Look, glad you're on a forbearance. That's great to hear. If you don't mind, I'm gonna touch base with you every so often throughout your forbearance just to make sure you don't need anything from me. Okay? End the call on a good note and set that periodic follow-up. Right now, guys, there are millions of people exiting their forbearance programs right now as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're marketing, again, you're not marketing to forbearance leads. As you're doing your yellow letter campaign, your cold calling campaign, whatever you do, you're going to come across tons of forbearance leads. You want to build the pipeline. You won't get the leads right away, but at the end of their forbearance, when they still can't make their payments, you're going to be the guy following up with them. You're going to get the business. You're going to earn their trust. Okay. Another very important note I want to hit on this. The loan balance, okay, the money does not disappear. The loan balance at the end of the forbearance is going to be higher than when they enter the forbearance program. Okay, so even if these people let's say they exit the forbearance and okay, they can make their payments now. They're going to have less equity. They're going to be in a tougher situation either way. Okay. Because all of those missed payments, it gets added on to the principal. All right. So
It's
I'm
crazy.
not going to get too crazy into this like I normally do on my presentations. I can keep on going on about forbearances. I'm trying to keep this brief, but follow up with these leads. Do not mark them as dead leads.
That's a B lead. Put it in your beehive.
Is that what you guys call them? I like that.
Yeah, we call that B leads.
Okay.
A B
Okay.
lead is somebody that you might do a deal with in the future that you're just not able to get a commitment from them for some reason today. So you follow up with them, you put them, it's a B lead. A lead is somebody you're going to try to close today. A B lead is a follow up lead. A C lead is a throw it away, never talk to them again.
That's
That's the,
amazing then. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
So
then in Justin's
keep,
language, then
yeah,
forbearance leads, modification leads, and the bankruptcy leads should all go in your B lead folder or system or whatever. Those are 100% B leads.
yeah. All
They
right.
don't need you now, but they can and probably will need you in the future.
The hardest thing to do when you've not been paying rent or mortgage is to start.
Yeah.
That's the facts. That's the
A lot of
facts.
people are going to be fine, guys. Look, I'm not here saying that like every single forbearance or modification lead you talk to is definitely going to be a deal from you for you. It's going to be a numbers game. There's going to be a percentage of people who the forbearance helped. It got them back on their feet. Same thing with there's going to be a lot of people that are able to get that mortgage modification. But again, it's a numbers game. If you stack enough of these B leads in your pipeline, some of them, a percentage of them are going to be deals for you, right? Everything's a numbers game, but you have to start building that pipeline of these leads because they're there for you. You're going to run into them. Okay, this one's really cool. Source number 6 is pre-pandemic auction leads. A couple slides ago, I hit on foreclosure auction leads. Those are people who are on the foreclosure block now, probably thought they were protected, but they're not. And now the bank's going to take it within 30 days. These are pre-pandemic auction leads. Right before the pandemic hit, there was tons of properties that were about to get foreclosed upon. And COVID hit, and it was their saving grace because the government put a halt on all foreclosures. And, some of them were days away from getting foreclosed on. Some people were a month away, weeks away, and the government halted it. And then, hallelujah, they were saved. Okay. Go to your list source, whoever you use. I use RedX. Whoever you use for your pre-foreclosure list source, they should be able to take you back in time and do a search of the foreclosure auction list that was pre-pandemic before COVID hit and everything shut down. Okay. A lot of those people, think about it. They were literally going to get foreclosed upon. Some of them probably just gave up and were like, screw it, I'm done. And then COVID was their saving grace. The reality is a lot of these people, they're not going to be in a better situation. How are they going to be in a better situation than they were pre-pandemic? Okay. Once foreclosures start up again, which they are, but once they really kick into high gear, a lot of these people that were on the auction block, unfortunately, they're going to be right back where they started before COVID hit. So if you could hit these people, if you could reach out to these people, if you could reach out to these people before all the foreclosures start again, you're going to find some gems there. So it's going to take a lot of legwork, but it's something that could work. It's something that's outside the box.
Yeah. Yeah. All of these are for the, at least 3 or 4 of them are out of the box for us,
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them are obvious, like the regular auction and the regular pre-foreclosure are pretty standard, but like I said, it's just stuff that personally works for me, that I'm seeing that I just want to pass on. So, okay, a bonus source, and this isn't a shameless plug, I promise, a bonus source to get business. Okay. Leverage my company. So, all right, most of these leads, like I said before, you're going to be hitting these lists. They're not going to be short sale deals. You're going to be able to take them down yourself and make your money. On the leads that are upside down and you can't wholesale it, and they're going to make sense as short sales, you could leverage my brand. I'm giving you permission, leverage universal short sales to get the deal. Okay. Maybe it's a short sale you want to buy and flip yourself, but there's a bunch of other investors trying to get that same deal. Use my business. You will most likely get the deal when you're like, hey, look, I know all these other people want your property and you know, they're all making you a similar sales pitch. You could say to the seller, but we're short sale professionals. And the seller's going to say, what do you mean by that? Well, I'm not just a normal investor. I actually partner with a company called Universal Short Sales to make sure the short sale actually gets done correctly, on time, and the right way. Once you're able to explain that, it's going to set you apart from the other investors 100%. And then most likely you're going to get the deal because the seller is going to have a little bit more faith that, you know, you could get it done. So leverage my business. There's even, I'm not saying you have to go this far, obviously, but there's real estate agents, not so much investors. There's a lot of real estate agents that actually have separate tabs on their website. That's like a universal short sales tab. They asked my permission. I'm like, go ahead, do it. So they actually, realtors, listing agents, get listings just from leveraging my brand whenever it's a short sale, you know, because they could direct their seller, you know, they could tell them they're a short sale expert, and then they direct their seller to their website and they have a tab dedicated just to short sales. So, you know, it makes you look good. It makes you look like a true professional. So take a page from what the listing agents are doing and feel free to leverage my company to get yourself more deals. And if you have any questions,
Good.
fire away. Floor is yours.
Good. Any questions in the gallery? Any questions in the Zoom room?
Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, hi everybody. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Good. We'll get you next, Jen.
So the question I'm gonna ask. So the question I want to ask is, so your service offers us leads. I got in a little bit late, and then I probably have to watch the video a little bit. But what do you offer us, Mr. Bob?
That's okay. No worries. So no, I'm not a lead provider at all. I have a short sale business. So
Okay.
I have a short sale processing company. Sometimes I'm a third party short sale processor.
Oh,
Sometimes
nice.
if the deal fits my criteria, I'll do the short sale and then I'll just buy it myself. So
Okay.
I'm an investor and a short sale processor.
All right. So I'm a realtor too as well. So I might end up going into a house and they need to be do a short sale because it's upside down. So you provide that service. Is that what you're saying to me right now?
Absolutely. If you're an agent,
Yeah.
shoot me your email when you can. I have a ebook that you could give to your next seller if it's going to be a short sale. And it breaks down the whole short sale, answers all their questions, literally makes your life easier and will help you get the listing. So,
all right. Awesome. Sounds great.
Yeah. If you want that,
I'll go back on mute. Thank you.
Cool.
But I send you my email.
Okay.
What's your email, Bob?
I will put it in the chat.
Okay, dude. Cool. Everybody put Bob as a tool in your tool bag. So when you run into a underwater and in default type lead, instead of throwing it away, you can at least monetize it and help that particular seller too, both at the same time, using a third party short sale. Why do we not teach short sales here? Well, because I don't know how to do short sales. And it's like, I've heard it takes a long time, and I've heard that it can wear you out. And I'm just like, well, I don't think that sounds very good. So I'm going to outsource my any short sales that I run into. I'm going to outsource that. That's just a decision I made. If that's a decision that you make, then Bob's a great resource for you. So universalshortsales.com is how you find Bob online. And I recommend going over there and just contacting him on the contact us button, unless it's changed, Bob.
Nope. Yep. Hover over contact us, fill out the wholesaler contact form, say you came from Justin, and that's it. Or I just left my email there. Just shoot me an email, put in the subject line, like, Justin Chamness Group, something like that. And let me know the ebook you want. I have a bunch of free little ebooks. I have one that expands on the 6 sources I just gave you. I have one that I just mentioned. It's Roseland about, you can give it to a homeowner when they're about to do a short sale. That way they're not asking you questions. It answers all their questions, breaks down the process, and it makes you look like a true short sale professional. So, I have all sorts of stuff like that.
universalshortsales.com. Gent, you had a question, sir?
Real quick, is there any kind of partnership or referral involved? If we do find like a lead that we're working with and we refer to you?
Yeah. Yep. That's what the wholesaler referral system is. So if I do the short sale as a third party, meaning there's, a different buyer, I just process everything and get it done. I pay $500 because usually I'll get a flat fee. So it's $500 for every dead lead there. And then if I buy it, then I cut you in on the deal and pay a higher percentage. If I'm able to make a profit from the deal and purchase it, then I'm going to pay you a percentage of that deal, something that will work out. So
I've gotten paid from Bob, just so y'all know. Bob actually does pay. He doesn't just say he does.
Yeah. I don't think I'd be in business though. I think people would catch on to me by now.
I've tested it and it works.
Yeah. A couple people from the group did. I've done a couple transactions with people from this group for sure.
That's good. I'd like to hear from those folks sometime. I don't know who they are. You didn't tell me.
Nathaniel is one. I don't know if he comes around anymore. Nate.
Yeah.
From,
You've seen him in a little while. Well, any more questions for Bob before we let Bob go? You guys like this today? Was it pretty good information? Everybody? Y'all didn't like it? Y'all didn't like it at all.
Rough crowd today. All right.
Y'all want to throw rocks at Bob now.
I like that.
Good training.
It was excellent.
This was good information.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's good.